The one behind, they're trying to stop. Good morning, everyone. We're back in the EDSA bus lane, and this rider's already been flagged down for a bus lane violation. It's around 5:30 a.m., so you can see there's really no traffic at the moment. There's no reason why you would be inside the exclusive bus lane. One of the things I want to point out is that every other driver, every other rider is using the correct lanes. So when you see people in the comment section with so many excuses for why bus lane violators shouldn't be apprehended, well, just take that into context, that it's a minority that are misusing the exclusive bus lane, and everybody else manages to use EDSA without abusing the bus lane. That rider saw the enforcers, put himself on the inside. He did speed up a little bit, but they were able to block him off. There you go. As you know, it does involve confiscation of license, which a lot of people actually see as a bigger hassle than the ticket itself, because they have to go to LTO to get the license back. There's a rider just pulled out from behind the bus. There you go. He went back to the regular lanes, but the enforcer had already seen him. So she's pulling him off to the side now. You saw how the moment the rider saw the enforcers, he left the bus lane and went all the way to the inside. And then when they tried to apprehend him, well, there you go. Now they have called it ahead for someone else to try and apprehend him further along EDSA, but look at how many motorcycles are passing by it every minute. The chances of pulling out one rider, I don't know. I think it's unlikely. Now they do have the plate number, so they can submit it to LTO for a show cause order. Now, although I suspect a lot of people ignore show cause orders, at least it will block the registration from being renewed until the situation has been resolved. The truth is, every day there are riders running away from police officers, from LGU enforcers, from MMDA, from SAICT. It has become the standard for many riders that if they have a violation and someone tries to apprehend them, run away. If they have an accident, run away. It does sometimes happen with cars, but it's not as common, honestly. Whereas every day there's a lot of riders. That's why they really have to get into that practice of issuing the spot report, giving it to LTO for a show cause order. Otherwise, people will learn, well, you just run away and then nothing happens. See how everyone in the background has been leaving the bus lane? If that's an HPG, then he is actually allowed inside the bus lane. Look, he's saying to them, why don't you just go ahead? You wanted to be in the bus lane, now you want to leave? I have also noticed what I would call some fake HPG in the bus lane. They look like an HPG from a distance. They're using certain logos, but actually nowhere on the bike, nowhere on their uniform does it say HPG. But as a member of the public, you think it's HPG. In this case, obviously, that is a real one. And they do have HPG assigned to the EDSA Busway. not sure what the first card was that he showed to the enforcer, but eventually he has handed over the license. There does appear to be an MC taxi that they also flagged down around 1 minute after him. Failed to stop. The one behind, they're trying to stop. The first one just used his horn and then continued driving, unfortunately. Well, the driver has been able to show a license. So far, he hasn't been able to show the registration. And something else to note with this car and the other one is that neither of them have any markings on them that say what agency they belong to, or even that they're government vehicles in the first place. In fact, it has a black and white improvised plate that makes it look like a private vehicle, when in fact this is a government vehicle. And the enforcer is adding another violation for the driver having a non-professional driver's license while operating this government vehicle with the emergency lights and the wang wang and everything like that. From the outside you would think this is an ordinary private vehicle, but no, this is owned by a government agency. I'm curious whether they're going to leave the bus lane. Yes, they are. That's good at least. I've seen some busway violators, they even when enforcers tell them to leave the bus lane, they would actually just continue in the bus lane after being ticketed. That vehicle just left the bus lane, but the enforcer surely saw it, so I assume they're going to push him back in for ticketing. Just as I was talking about the silver and over, I looked around and saw this at the back of the bus. I don't have a great video, but I do have at least a snapshot that I can show you before he quickly left the bus lane. And there's the driver's license. He'll also ask for the ORCR, obviously. And of course, since this is SAICT, they will confiscate the license. I know I've mentioned that time and time again, but I just like to mention it because it does result in a lot more penalties actually being paid. And to be honest, it can act as a more severe deterrent, because a lot of people don't care about the penalty, but they do care about the time and hassle of going to LTO to get the license back.
Nagalanganin na ako kasi
what the rider's given to the enforcer is an expired license, and so far no ORCR. Looks like he's not able to show one. They're asking for the license ORCR now. The driver didn't seem overly happy that the license was confiscated, but the enforcer explained to him that they're deputized by LTO, and that's really their standard practice. that rider already handed over his license and he is being issued a ticket for a bus lane violation. Again, he made them dig through all the vehicles to find him, but they managed it. Now I'm hoping that the audio in today's video will be okay because I am using a new microphone. My old microphone broke, which is kind of annoying because I spent a lot of money on it and it only lasted around 13 months. That was from DJI, the wireless mic set. So that was kind of a waste of money, to be honest. Just over a year and now it's a expensive paperweight. And you saw there, they just assisted those guys onto the EDSA Busway because that motorcycle is actually going to be impounded, the one that you saw earlier. They just flagged down a member of the Hazard gang. So they're asking for the license now. That looks strange. Laminated piece of paper, I guess. Maybe he has a paper license. You know what it's like with LTO. Thankfully, the driver of the L300 handed over his license and ORCR without any argument. Makes things a lot easier when it goes like that. He did make them follow him through the traffic, but at least once he did get to the side, he didn't argue with them. Oh my goodness, how many are there? And then they'll all go back to the regular lane.